Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports. Let's get into it, boys. We had World Cup final today. Argentina winning that one after a 3-3 tie in PK shootout.
Messi finally, after all the heartbreak, finally, and everything he's gone through with Argentina trying to get them that trophy.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and he had
good
8 goals
for
this
Messi.
tournament, I believe.
Yeah,
And then Mbappe on the other side had 12. He got the Golden Boot Award.
yeah, had a hat trick today
It's a
Yeah,
lot of
in the
goals.
loss.
still would have topped Messi without scoring today.
Yeah.
Well,
No, Messi
Yeah.
still had 2 today.
Yeah, well, he had 8 total,
Yeah,
and Mbappe had 12. So
yeah.
So-
Messi scores in every knockout game in this
that's
tournament.
crazy.
That's wild.
dude is good.
Hey, he was man of the
Dude is
match in, I
good.
believe, 5 matches in the tournament.
What do you know?
The GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. There's nothing really to hold against him at this point. I mean, that was the one knock left, is that he hadn't won a World Cup,
Yeah,
and I mean, the whole thing between him and Ronaldo, I never bought into that debate in the first place. I mean, all you got to do is just watch the two guys play, and you can see the difference.
oh yeah,
I mean, Ronaldo scores a ton of goals. I think.
yeah. Where Ronaldo was getting all the goals, Messi was getting the goals and the assists.
Well, and it's not just all the goals that Messi scored. It's the way he scores them. There's something alien about the way he plays. It's you're not supposed to be able to do the things he does, being as small as he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's 5'7", and it should in soccer it should be as easy as you kick this dude in the legs a few times, and that should about wrap it up. But you can't do that with him because he dodges that. Like he'll dodge the kicks as he's dribbling the ball through 3 or 4 of your defenders and scoring the goal.
Yeah,
And it's not just 1 or 2 or 3 of these plays. There's probably 2 or 3 hours worth of highlights of him doing this shit. So these weren't flukes or anything like that. And
Yeah.
I would say the biggest difference between him and Ronaldo is Ronaldo, I think, is the greatest goal scorer, or maybe the greatest goal scorer, just pure goal scorer of all time. I mean, the dude, there's a certain talent in just having a nose for being in the right spot.
yeah.
On a football field, on a football pitch, and Ronaldo just knows how to move in front of the goal to get himself open, and there is nobody who can leap and head the ball the way he could. I mean, there were points for 3, 4, 5 years where it was just unstoppable. I mean, all you had to do was lift that ball into the box and watch him go. But yeah, so going back to it, I mean, there's just nothing you can hold against Messi or any reason you can't say that he's the literal greatest of all time.
Yeah. Actually, I think him
Congratulations.
and Mbappe went head to head on that machine like a year or 2 ago, and I think he beat Mbappe.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
it
is funny.
wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me. I've seen
I mean,
that guy do
Messi.
so many crazy things with the ball.
Messi's no Miroslav Klose, but one of my
Yeah,
favorite
a
lot of-
all-time players.
There's a lot of talk now, especially that he's won the World Cup, because he's done everything. I mean, he's won it every the top
Every
level.
level, yeah.
He's achieved
Multiple
everything.
times.
He's achieved everything you can as a player, that he's coming to MLS.
That wouldn't surprise me
And
eventually.
And that too.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Just,
the
just come over here and
Galaxy.
have fun and score 50 fucking goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
He'll end up on LA's team or New York's team.
No, he's going to Miami.
Oh, really?
Beckham's team, yeah. Yeah, they've been trying to
Gay.
set that up for a long time.
Because this is going to be a record on how long we've talked about soccer. 'Cause
Easily.
Maybe.
Easily.
Easily.
Hey,
Sneaky,
and
that
I got
was
to throw out a Closa.
Sneaky.
some closer
That was
talk.
quite the tangent. Like you were on a roll there.
I can gush about Messi. Like I
Yeah,
get
you
it.
could.
I
You know,
can go on for a long time about him.
you do like your soccer
Schweinsteiger?
apparently.
We can just talk.
Schweinsteiger.
We can just talk German players if you'd like. I will do the whole episode on German
I-
players.
Bayern Munich.
I don't think that is necessary.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
we
like
had a
I'll fall
really
asleep.
good slate of football this week.
We
Yeah, let's
did.
get into that. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the Thursday game. Let's
Thursday.
talk Niners Seahawks. Niners beating the Seahawks 21-13. That defense is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that defense is
The
crazy.
fact that we somehow put up 40 on them is insane.
I don't know if we'd want to play them now, man. They seem
No, me neither.
they're hitting their stride.
a little
They're
different, especially with Christian McCaffrey. Like really, just I mean,
yeah, we got
dude,
him on
as long
his
as-
first day.
yeah, as long as he can stay healthy, you can't stop him. Yeah, we got lucky. We got lucky playing the very
I
first
think
week he was there.
I think the reason that we did so well is because we didn't let them play with a lead.
Yeah.
That's true. Don't let the Niners.
Yeah,
Play
because
with a
then
lead.
like if their defense is able to just start teeing off on you, it's over.
Yep.
It's kind of the same thing the Cowboys try to do, but the Niners seem to be a little bit better at it.
Yeah, I mean, there are some teams
They
that
don't really need the high powered offense to.
yeah,
No,
there's
I
some
mean,
teams
they-
that rely
step
on
on the
getting
other
that.
side.
Plug and play quarterbacks, and it works.
Yeah,
So the third quarterback of the season, and I mean, he's not, blowing the top off anything out here when you look
He
at his
looks-
stats.
He looks
But he
just
looks-
as good as Jimmy G.
Yeah, he looks just as good as Jimmy G. And I mean, he's not making stupid
Maybe even
decisions.
better.
Mhm.
I mean,
Like-
17 of 26 for 217 with 2 touchdowns, no picks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for
That's pretty
Mr.
good.
Irrelevant.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Mr.
good.
Irrelevant.
No,
Not
he
looking
looks-
That's all
very
you need.
irrelevant.
That's all
looks
you
like
need,
he
and you
has
have
an-
Christian McCaffrey running the ball for another 100 yards in a tutty. You know,
Purdy looks like he has a more well-rounded game than Jimmy G anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he has
Kind
a
of.
little more
They're putting up-
mobility.
They're putting
A little more
they're putting up
athletic.
similar stats, but it seems like Purdy can make more kinds of throws.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And he's-
definitely an indictment on Jimmy G at this point.
dude, and he's younger too. You know, like he's got so much more upside with him, and how good he's looked. Yeah,
But you know what? Jimmy G's more handsome.
Jimmy G is probably more handsome. Yeah, so I guess there is that. But then what do you do with Trey? Of course. So you probably have to get rid of Jimmy G, right? He's gone.
I mean,
after
yeah,
this
Jimmy's
year. He's done.
free agent after this year. He negotiated his way into that situation. Indianapolis will be a call-in, or New York. I think they'll still both be in play. I mean, you're looking at a guy that you're just looking to plug him into a system and him not lose you games if you're
Yeah.
those two teams. And I think
Okay.
that's Jimmy G. He's not going to lose you games. He's not going to
The Jets for real could use him, or not the
Yeah.
Jets, the
the
Giants.
Giants.
I
Yeah.
was going to
I
say,
was
and
thinking
with
The Jets
Dayball,
should be okay with White.
Yeah.
I think Dayball could do.
And there's some
things.
solid
Right.
weapons there that would actually be intriguing to put around Jimmy G if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is this last injury is really going to drive his price down.
Oh yeah, I mean, because it's
I mean,
always those
before,
lower-
I mean, he was all set to get a giant contract, most likely
So he's going
from some sucker at the end of
No.
the season.
He's probably still going to the Colts then.
Yeah,
At
I
the end
still-
of the day, let's face it, he's gonna go to the Colts.
Yeah, it's an annual thing.
But
They're gonna give
it's-
themselves another one.
It's got me thinking is maybe teams actually finally start to get a little bit smarter about how they're building their teams. And I feel like a lot of teams try to force this style into like they want their quarterback to be something that they're not.
A lot of times.
A lot of teams.
A lot of times. Broncos.
I agree.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
So many times.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders are a great example. Like they want Carr to be like the
Well,
5,000 yards, 40 touchdown guy, and he's not going to do
he's
that.
not, yeah,
He's never going to touch that.
not happening. Keep running it with Jacobs.
But then I mean, with the Niners' ability to just plug anybody into that system and not miss a beat. I mean, if you didn't see the quarterback's name, you'd think that was the same guy who's been starting.
Yeah, you'd have no
I mean,
idea.
it was similar when they had CJ Beathard as well as the backup to Jimmy G. It was just like a plug and play. When you would get
Yeah.
hurt, you didn't see a huge drop off.
Yeah, go out there, make simple throws,
Yeah.
run a lot of play action,
We're going to rely on these running
hand the
backs
ball
who,
off to these beast ass running
Can't do.
backs.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
think
going to be a
about-
scary team in the playoffs for the Eagles. Them and the Eagles are really the only two teams where I'm like that in the NFC that.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
think
teams
have a
seem to have
legit
peaked
shot.
early and have kind of fallen off, or they're just
You know,
Yeah, and the Cowboys seem like they're going to cowboy
yeah.
like
Cowboys
they
gonna,
do.
I mean,
Cowboys gonna lose in the
as
playoffs.
soon as you heard Micah Parsons talking shit like on Jalen Hurts,
Mhm.
you were like, they're probably going to lose the fucking Jags, aren't they?
We're not.
You're like,
we're not there
they're
yet. We
all-
can't. You know.
I
I
know
must
we're
not
not-
feel good about this week.
We got to talk about
Yeah.
Saturday before we get to
Okay.
Sunday.
Let's do that. In fact, because what a wild, the biggest comeback in NFL, history.
We finally topped the
NFL.
comeback.
A 33-point comeback, 33-0.
Matt Ryan is
Matt
now the only
Ryan-
quarterback to blow 2 leads of 25 or more.
The biggest blown lead in Super Bowl history and regular season history, or all time, really. I think, right?
I was
But
watching Perna
33
talk
points.
about this, and he's like, there is finally a worse offense than the Denver Broncos. It is the first half Vikings offense and the second half Colts offense.
Yeah, he's right. Though. Jesus,
I was like,
man.
you are right.
It's just awful.
Wow.
But
I
man,
was-
for Minnesota to actually pull that shit off, holy
Kirk Cousins.
dude,
I glanced
in
at the score
prime
at
time,
half.
right?
Yeah, I glanced at that score at half. That in the half it was 33-0, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm like,
Thought
well,
they're
I'm
just
not
about to
turning.
get
I'm not.
routed.
I had two thoughts. I'm like, well, I'm not turning that fucking game on.
I
And then number two was like, it would be the most Kirk Cousins things to fucking pull this comeback off.
Pull this shit off, dude.
was at
22
work.
points in the fourth quarter.
I was
like-
at work, so I had it on all the TVs, and I mean,
and then
that
I
place
laughed at
was
myself, like,
yeah, that place went fucking nuts whenever, because our GM, he's a Packers fan, like through and through, and he was there, and he's like checking over. Me and him are laughing at the Vikings, for the first half. I'm making jokes like, man, this is really taking the value of that Vikings win away. Like, I was like, Eagles beating the Vikings doesn't feel as
Doesn't feel so good
meaningful
now.
anymore.
Right.
And then just the look, he's standing over there watching this Vikings game when Dalvin Cook gets that catch, and he's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna let him go 64 yards?"
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
wild.
Dalvin had a day as well, man.
Dalvin had a
great
day. I mean, I want to say,
dude, KJ
yeah, Dalvin 190 total yards.
Osborne.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
catches, 157.
With the
I think they're
TD as
gonna. I
well.
think they're gonna be one and done in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a
Yeah,
very
but yeah.
Hey, they might make
Vikings
it
in
to
the
the
playoffs.
championship game. I'd be okay with playing them in the championship game.
I mean,
They're not.
To get
don't
there,
think
they'd
so.
either have to beat Philly or the Niners, and I don't see them doing that. I don't see the Vikings beating either of them.
I mean,
No,
the
I don't-
Eagles
I-
point.
like I think they're gonna be the 2 seed, so they'll play the 7.
The part that of the Niners defense that you do
The
Skull.
want to be
Sam.
able to attack
Yeah.
is their secondary. That is the point of the Niners where you want to be able to get it done. So I mean, that's why I give the Vikings an act. I think that's a favorable matchup, surprisingly, against them.
Okay, well,
Can
we'll
I
see.
say I have a soft spot in my heart for the Vikings, mainly from when Sam and I were young and we always played with them on
Madden?
Madden
For that
because
year,
we
yeah.
really liked
Dante Culpepper.
Dante and Randy
Dante-
Moss?
But no, who did we like a lot, Sam? Was it
Chris
Klein
Carter?
Saucer?
I know
That
it's
dude.
Culpepper who he really Kleinshauser came afterwards, right? But Culpepper we were.
I know
was
who was
okay.
their tight end?
I had a Culpepper.
No, it was
Thursday
Klein
shit.
Saucer.
Klein, yeah.
Oh,
Saucer.
Kleinshauser, yeah,
The-
okay.
The tight end.
Yeah,
He was just like you
Adrian
could throw to
Kleinschauser.
that dude and he would never like he was always open on Madden. He
Yeah,
just hit Klein Saucer.
Well, because they had Randy Moss and Chris
I know.
Carter.
and Chris Carter, yeah.
He should have
Of
been
course,
open.
everybody else is open. You've got two
And
guys
why was
dedicated
it?
to two.
Was Chris Carter still
two-
there at this time? It was like 2002,
Yeah, he might have been in Miami.
2001, 2002.
But for some reason, I
But Randy Moss and yeah,
don't
Podcast.
I don't like Cousins enough to like care about the Vikings.
I
Yeah,
mean, I like the rest of the team. I do have a soft spot for the Vikings as well.
I do too.
For that, and because we beat them in the Super Bowl that one time.
Yeah.
They've never won a Super Bowl. They've been to 4 of them. They've
I
lost.
loved
I
that
like
team
I,
with
and I also
Randall
like
Cunningham
purple. I
and
like their
the
purples.
I like the purple too.
Sneaky. You
the-
probably remember that team well when the
Which one?
Vikings had Randall Cunningham
Yeah,
and they went to the NFC Championship game and lost to the Dirty Birds.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
that
that
was a
was-
fun.
I was pretty young on that. I think that was 1990.
No, that one was later. That was when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl and against the Broncos in what 98.
Yeah,
Oh,
98,
okay.
99.
Yeah, and because they
99.
beat. That was the year that Gary
Oh, that was old
Anderson.
ass
98.
Randall. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
98.
Yeah, Gary Anderson hadn't missed a field goal all season, and then he missed the one to win the game, and they went
Damn.
and lost it in overtime.
like a 25-yarder. Yeah,
It wasn't even. Yeah, it wasn't a hard kick.
Oh, since you mentioned Saturday, P, at the
Yeah.
beginning of this, did you guys see that the NFL execs sent that it was like a memo out to all the owners about how much money the teams have spent on coaches and
Yeah,
higher up staff
GMs
because
and
they think everyone's being
turnovers.
too hasty.
dude, cool because they showed like which team was it that was paying like 3 coaches right now?
Let's see.
Gotta
I
say the
have list right
Jaguars.
here.
Probably the Jags.
No, there's
maybe the Dolphins.
a
Jags or
team that
Dolphins.
was
The Jags fired a
currently-
coach, then they hired Urban
I think
Meyer.
no, I
then
think
they
it was
fired
I think it
him.
was the Giants, perhaps.
It's the Giants.
Could
They're
be the
paying three
Giants.
different head coaches and their respective coaching staff right now.
Yeah.
Because they gave them all like long-term.
They gave him all like 5-term deals, and they fired him within 2.
That's what
you know what I
happens when you
mean?
hire Pat.
So right now, if you-
and
So it was like
fucking
Joe
Joe
Shane
Judge.
and Joe Judge and
Joe Judge, and then the dumbass they had before it.
Wait, they're not still paying Coughlin, are they?
No, who was it?
In
Doesn't matter.
5 years,
no,
teams have
they're not.
spent $800 million on
Yeah.
fired
Yeah.
coaches. That's insane.
They
That
just kind of
is.
roll through them, you know.
PR is expensive.
Yeah,
So,
maybe we will
yeah.
get to see a change because of that. Whenever you
Probably
put the
not.
financials, well, the thing that could motivate is the money aspect.
Maybe no, they're willing to spend the money. I doubt
Yeah.
it.
Maybe you
I
know,
mean, it's indicative of how many poorly run franchises there are.
that's yeah. I mean, like we guessed what 3 franchises before we got to the right answer.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, that's a slew of fucking bad franchises because that they were all
Yeah, that's-
reasonable options.
So many of them could have done it.
Yeah, like
Man,
I'm
you
shocked
could
that it was
have
only
told
one.
me 25 different franchises, and I would have been like, "Oh yeah."
there are
sure, the
certain
Broncos,
ones
right?
that-
Yeah, of course.
Broncos, Raiders.
Yeah, any of them.
Well, yeah, the Gruden was with the Raiders for a few years, tearing
He
them down.
was. They gave him a chance, a real
Which was
shot.
kind of even
and
better than them cycling through coaches.
Dude, what him and Mike Mayock did to that team should be fucking punishable by death.
then-
You should be allowed to bring the guillotine out for what they did to that team.
Oh,
Like,
man.
bro, like only Josh Jacobs out of the first round. Well, they
Yeah,
still got Clinton
that's it.
out.
It's dude,
Farrell
it's
still
bad.
on there, but
Ooh,
the only one who's had production is fucking Josh Jacobs.
we only got a couple minutes. Okay, so we could do the Cleveland and Baltimore.
I'll say we
I
game.
have
don't,
a
I don't want to
plenty
talk
of
about
ti-
that game.
We have plenty of time to
So-
talk about.
So the
what
Cleveland and Baltimore game.
was 13-3 Browns.
Moving on.
Sam's still dead from sleep.
Okay, yeah. We're next.
Yeah, we should
Uh,
restart because we
And
got
we'll
Eagles
restart.
Bears.
Yeah.
Nothing of note happened.
Nothing of note happened.
Oh wait, well we have Dolphins Browns.
The
Eagles.
the
Didn't
Baltimore looks bad.
Justin Tucker
Without-
missed a kick, right?
This looks
Dude.
this looks almost just like this is like an exact replay of what happened to Baltimore last year.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
They were cruising, and then
well,
Lamar gets injured, and they're dead in the water.
right. Yeah, your offense was kind of struggling,
And you
know,
build
wasn't
your
looking
team
great.
around
But
one
then
player.
once Lamar goes out, you're completely done. That's it. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You
I
lost.
mean,
the
yeah, that's
one
just
thing
the
you had.
danger of building your team around somebody who's as unique as Lamar. Even Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, like, I mean, it is
You
dangerous.
gotta give the guy some. You gotta give the guy some pieces.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Philadelphia is in better shape, I think, than Baltimore, obviously, because of the receiving core and the O line. But yeah, I mean, it was
A lot of things.
Baltimore. It's kind of similar to when Indianapolis lost Peyton Manning with how unique Peyton was. You couldn't replicate what
Right,
he
you
did.
can't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Dolphins Bills. Bills pulling that one out 32-29.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
a great game,
great
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And Buffalo's got that resiliency, man.
Yeah.
They do.
This
They,
was.
s- it-
Oh.
there's- but the narrative of the Bills can't win close games. Well, they've kind of shut that one up this year. Like they keep winning some close games.
Yeah, and they kind of really put the stranglehold on the division with that win too.
Mhm.
Did that win the division
yeah.
for him? Three
No,
up
it
with
didn't.
three
It
left?
didn't win the division.
Okay.
but-
Yeah, they did struggle in division early, so I guess they could get them based on division record.
Yeah, because Miami did win one, so they're only split with them.
I think Buffalo would have to lose out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Buffalo
yeah.
lost to the Jets that one game. But yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, they split the series, but I think it's
but it's all but done now.
yeah.
Right? Like it's not looking good for Miami.
Yeah.
Although they should still be a wild card team.
Yeah, they
Should.
especially with the Jets and the Jets losing today. I mean, that's just helps them in that
Mhm, mhm.
race. So
Yeah, I
And
feel
the
like,
Patriots
Miami
also losing.
and the Chargers are probably locked for a wild card.
Josh Allen
Yeah.
played his fucking ass off. Great game.
Yeah,
know,
it was-
four passing touchdowns today.
4 passing touchdowns and 300
Saturday.
passing yards, and then like another 77
7 on the
game.
ground, yeah, because he had 381 total.
it was
Hey,
so
man.
crazy to see when Miami's offense looked great. They were rolling right along until the snow started coming down.
Yeah.
and it was,
Yeah, it really was.
I was
They-
thinking the same
They
thing.
mentioned that. They mentioned it on the broadcast too. They were like, man, since it starts looking like a snow globe, Miami is
Yeah, they couldn't get anything done.
Which I mean, it makes sense.
Miami has a really bad record in really cold weather too.
Well, the
Well, yeah,
broadcast had it
it's
right too. I
Miami.
mean, wearing those all white uniforms could not have helped.
True. Yeah, I mean,
Like, goddamn.
because that
You're
was
a
the type
warm
of snow
weather
that would be hard
team.
to see in.
I'd be willing to bet the Bills chose that uniform specifically, so the Bills would have to wear all white.
Sure.
It was a good game. I
I know
mean,
all about the rules of uniforms in the NFL.
Waddle
I could list them
Waddle-
out for you.
Waddle having 3 catches and turning that into 114 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy stat.
Tyreek had a solid day, 9 for 69 and a touchdown, but
But Waddle, holy shit,
the average on those catches,
38.
Yeah.
38 yards per catch.
yeah, dude. So
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
So,
So that was
yeah,
our
the Bills
Saturday
just seem
games. Oh,
Yeah.
Bills just seem like one of the most complete teams right now, along with the Eagles and the Bengals, probably. Like teams that look like their defenses, can win them
hang with
games
their
when they need
offense.
to and step up, and who have offenses that can score.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Fair enough.
so
and
let's-
maybe the Niners too.
Yeah.
The Niners are also a very complete team. There you go. Those are the 4 probably best teams in the league right now.
no
yeah, I
disagreeing.
agree with that. Yeah. All right, let's move to Sunday's games. Let's go to Peas Eagles. Eagles beating the Bears 25-20.
I mean, I think we overlooked the Bears a little bit, but at least
It's
we
also
didn't.
closer because of a garbage time.
Yeah, the
touchdown
garbage
thing.
time touchdown, but I mean, it just was one. We came out sloppy. Jalen had a couple picks early in the game. But after that, it was just
Made up for him.
take care of business. I mean,
3 Russian TDs.
yeah, D line did work. Linebackers got home.
Mhm.
Corners played well and got the win. I mean, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith
Coulda
were
ran it with Miles-
absolutely maniacal out there.
Should have ran it with Miles Sanders just a little more.
I mean,
A
but
little more.
I mean, I agree, but those two dudes had a day. I mean, AJ went for
AJ
181,
had a day,
and then Devonta Smith had 5 catches, 126.
man.
Yeah.
So not
I think
quite
a
as
better-
good
I
as
think-
Waddle.
I think a better team might have gotten you today.
Yeah, I'd
You
agree.
guys were kind of sleepwalking.
I that's why I was like, I think we kind of overlooked the Bears, and you could see it, but that's you got a big matchup
win.
next week against the
You want-
Cowboys.
and this
on
is
Christmas
okay.
Eve.
And this is no. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. Your offense may have like kind of overlooked them a little, right, and played a little sloppy because the Bears' defense is not very good, right? And you
Yeah.
didn't look tremendous against them, so maybe you did.
Well, you got Hurts throwing a couple picks, and
Yeah,
But your defense, like, held on.
Yeah,
And
the
your
defense is-
didn't. Your defense didn't like shit the bed and let the other team just like
we
storm
Yeah.
back and take over the game. So that's why look at that good
Absolutely.
team that has a that can rely on a defense to maybe step up when their offense isn't having the best day.
Sam, we're not on the Chiefs.
And their offense isn't playing that perfectly, and maybe we can still hold the other team to under 21 points.
Hey, Sam, we're not
and
on the Chiefs
can
yet.
you name me 2 guys on the Bears offense that's not Justin Fields?
Mooney and
Montgomery.
yeah. Okay.
I said I was
there
talking
are
to
other
Sam.
and
My
is
bad.
it
My bad.
her
He's on IR right now, Herbert.
Byron
Uh,
Pringle.
And
Byron
Justin
Pringle.
Byron Pringle-
Justin Fields is
Byron-
the only star on that.
Byron
Byron Pringle actually
Pringle.
is the one who scored the garbage time touchdown to make it as close as it is.
What up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm happy because we didn't play our
But
best
the
game
Bears-
today, but we
Okay.
still gained a game on the
The
Cowboys.
Bears offense has been very good since they let
Yeah,
Fields start
absolutely.
running. The Bears offense has been pretty damn good. They've been putting up like 30 to 40
Yeah, and
on a lot of teams.
we
I'm
Not
very-
the Eagles.
I'm
Not
very
the-
quietly inside hoping and rooting for Justin Fields' success because I think he could be something really, really special.
yeah, and
Like that
I
guy
don't
looks
even-
better and better every week. And again, when he runs the ball, it's terrifying.
Mhm.
Like
When
I
he
don't want
runs
to.
like
I
this.
wouldn't want to see that dude coming at me.
we were able to hold him in check today, but yeah, I agree. I think he's a intriguing talent, and
Yeah, I mean, he
So-
still had 95 yards. Rushing.
yeah, but
Hey man,
got
good for the Eagles though. Yeah, all right, Eagles.
Yeah.
Let's
Fly Eagles fly.
then there's
Fly.
there was I guess the Falcons and the Saints played today.
they did. Desmond Ritter made his NFL debut, and they lost.
Mm,
At
he
times,
did.
you're
Look
sitting.
at that. He threw a whole 97 yards.
Yeah, it was not a pretty day.
97.
Yeah, I know how good that game was because Red Zone showed me none of it.
Yeah, they red zone like we talk every week. That was
There's
their
always one
that
game.
was the game they had an
There's always
allergy against.
I mean, it
I
was
mean, if
on
the
during
team
the
doesn't
Chiefs
go to
game,
the, if none of the
and-
teams go to the red zone. I mean, what do you
Yeah.
show?
And all I know is the Falcons had a chance to tie it up with the Bucks and they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, fuck you
That's-
both.
That's what I can tell you about that game. All right. The next game though, hey, the Lions keep rolling. Guys, the Lions keep rolling, winning at 20-17 over the Jets.
I love this Lions team.
Yeah.
Man, how
I'm gonna
much
be so
fun.
sad when they don't make the
this Lions team.
playoffs.
Dude, they might make it. Like they have a shot.
They could. They could. They just need to keep winning. If they keep winning, they can get in, but they got to keep winning.
They
Don't
are a
stumble.
half a game out right
Don't
now because
stumble.
of the Commanders tie.
Don't stumble.
Man, I can't. What is this, 6 in a row?
I know because they lost to the
Bills.
Bills on Thanksgiving, but in their last like 6 or 7, they've only lost that one.
There's 6 of their last 7. Their next
6 of-
game's against the Panthers, then the Bears, then the Packers.
They should
Mhm.
win all 3 of those.
They have 3 winnable games
What are the? Is the Packers one in Lambeau?
in Lambeau.
Oof.
That's the. But dude,
It's fine.
they're gonna have something
They
to
can
play
do
for.
this.
The Packers
Panthers, Bears, Packers. You got that. Come on.
Yeah, I mean they've beaten.
They're the better team. in each of those matchups.
I think their last 3 wins were against better teams than the next 3 games. Because I mean, they
Yeah, I
beat
mean,
the
the Lions-
Vikings,
BK
Jets.
Keen's gonna be dope this year.
Yeah, dude, I'm
BK
excited.
King is gonna be dope.
I'm pumped.
Mhm.
Absolutely
man.
pumped. But yeah, I mean,
I was the other thing I was sitting there thinking today was like I'm pretty sure we're in for some wild ass playoff games this year.
oh yeah,
Oh, for sure.
Just-
For
just
sure.
be-
These squirrely ass teams that are going to be sneaking in, dude, like the Lions and the
Yeah.
Jaguars, maybe. What if the Jags and the Lions sneak into the playoffs?
dude, let the Jags and the Lions make the playoffs. That would be epic.
What?
And what
Please.
if the Panthers win that division? Come
The
on, they're not
Cats?
far
What if
out.
all the cats get in? What if all the kitties get into the playoffs?
What if Tom Brady gave up his marriage to not
Could
even
happen.
play in the playoffs?
Whoa.
Bro.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Real talk. now.
Yeah, that was the Lions and
they-
the Jets, and
Oh.
and then the Zach Wilson played today,
Yep.
and I mean he didn't do
No, he wasn't terrible.
horrific. He looked like it'll be funny. I didn't get to see if they interviewed any of the defensive players and asked them, "Do you think you let the offense down today?" And all of them go, "No,
No. No. Sure no.
sure
I
don't."
mean, they only gave
mean,
up 17.
That's the th-
They
that's the
they only
thing,
gave
the
up
Lions-
20, but
Yeah, the
20.
Lions, it wasn't like they played like, unstoppable offense. They just kind of played their defense just didn't shit the bed.
Yeah.
Completely on them and stepped up and did all right. But, Zach Wilson. So
Yeah.
Although Zach Wilson didn't play the worst game ever.
no, I mean it was
Zach Wilson had a decent game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
the score of the Steelers and Panthers game was 24-16.
It wasn't that exciting.
They
No.
played.
Steelers and Panthers.
I'm just kidding.
No, I know. Yeah, not the outcome I expected, but I'm not really shocked to see an NFC South team lose.
No, not at
So-
all. No, I mean, I get it. Pittsburgh won. That's not surprising. No, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah, I mean with a backup, wasn't it? Was it Trubisky?
So whatever. It's like they got a good coach and the rest of their team's pretty good. They're not the Steelers. It's not like they've won any of their games because of their quarterback. Like, no
Yeah,
matter
this
who
was
their
definitely
quarterback
not a
is.
day where Trubisky won them this game. Trubisky just
No,
managed
it's-
it. 17 of 22 for 179.
Yeah,
No
I mean-
touchdowns, no picks.
Come on, it was just a game where the Steelers were just they made some more plays. Other play, on defense, special teams,
3 rushing touchdowns.
on the ground.
And Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and then Trubisky actually did have 1 touchdown on the ground.
See, okay, see you guys.
Boring.
Boring. So
But-
anyway, let's talk about something that was truly amazing.
Well, I wonder where
The-
P's going with this.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys,
Losing
baby.
to the
How about them
fucking
boys?
Jaguars.
Woo!
34 to
overtime.
40 in overtime on an overtime pick 6.
Gosh, you love to see it.
No, it's
Oh,
well, the Jaguars have really kind of found their way as a team. It looks like.
They and
they
we
have.
the coaching
have.
and the love they have for Doug EP is what's propelling.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence has found his stride. Trevor Etienne is doing it on
I
the
mean, we
ground
saw that-
for him.
I can't remember what player it was, but the player for the Jags a couple weeks ago after they beat the Ravens was talking about this team. He was talking about Doug Peterson. He's like, dude, I love Doug Peterson. He's like, I would die for that man. He's like, the whole team, we
Hey,
love
man,
Doug Peterson. We
great
believe in
coach.
Doug Peterson. We know he can win.
Dude.
I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, this team is so close. They're this
Hey.
close. I'm
I
happy
mean,
for them.
What a great win. What a great performance. What a great comeback. They were down
they were down-
17
I was
in
gonna
the
say,
third quarter, like late in the third quarter and put on
Yeah.
that comeback, dude.
Dude,
Hey.
awesome game.
And
Awesome.
remember, that's a team that this is a team that at the deadline everybody thought they were about to sell off a bunch of pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
draft picks, and now they're in wild card position.
they are in position to win their division.
Yeah, they're actually in position to win their goddamn
They're a
division
game
now because
back of the,
Titans can't
and
seem
they
to
have
win
the
a game.
tiebreaker as of right now. So if they win and the Titans lose next week, they are in the lead of that division again, which is
You
awesome.
know, hey,
18, baby.
let's
I think
go,
the
Please
Jags
give
will
us
end up.
the week 18 we deserve.
Dude, I hope they're
Yeah,
within a
'cause they're
game and
going
it
that
matters. But I
down
think the
against the
Jags win this
Titans.
division, man. I think they do it.
Let's go, Jacksonville.
Do it, Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence. Y'all. The Cowboys just shit in the bed there.
Dude.
Ooh, just falling apart. That defense of theirs just falling apart at the end. Like, I thought you guys were supposed to be good. I thought you were supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league, and you give up 27 in the second half. You gave
Three
up 20
touchdowns to Zay Jones.
to who?
Zay Jones had
To
3
Zay
touchdowns.
Jones and 109 yards.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's not like he was just getting like dude cooked them.
Mm-hmm.
Their secondary is a weak point with injuries for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it showed.
Was
Well, and-
Diggs out?
Not Diggs, but was I think Brown. And now
So what's next?
the one we've been dreading.
Mm.
Chiefs. and the
Dreading
Texans.
talking about a win too.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
Just like
Not a
last
great
week.
win. Yeah.
Once,
Now,
once
listen, don't be disappointed by this game. There were a couple of bad turnovers that happened. They were unlucky. All right. What?
our defense was like, oh no, they turned the other team or our offense turned the ball over and messed up. Let's
Well, you put the defense on a
immediately
short
let
field
them
all
score.
fucking day. I mean, yeah, you're gonna give up points.
The first one was a
only-
short field. The other one was like from the 50, and this is the worst offense in the fucking league, or the second worst. Broncos and them 1-2. I mean, don't come on.
Well, I mean, blame your coordinator because the talent's there, but the
Well, yeah,
the
yeah,
refereeing in this
yes.
game was to the point of being suspect.
It
Yeah.
was blatant. Like we knew that Carl Cheffers disliked. Right, we've had a past with this guy for
Yeah.
a long time now, going back to 2017 playoff game when Kelsey said that the dude was so bad he shouldn't even be working at Foot Locker.
I hate to be like I said earlier. I hate to be that dude complaining about the officials in Kansas City during a win.
Dude,
Yeah.
but it was blatant.
Look at
today.
that
It was
shit. Look at
fucking
that shit.
blatant.
But here's something to be impressed by. It's another thing that you just don't hear a lot. Like Mahomes was 28 for 28 when targeting Juju, Kelsey, and McKinnon.
Yeah,
He had,
I mean,
he had
that's
20
spread across
completions in a
3
row. He had 20 straight completions in a row.
Yeah,
close
Kelsey-
the game out with 20 straight completions.
Yeah.
Kelsey and Juju both caught 10 passes on 10 targets, and McKinnon caught 8 on 8.
Mahomes was perfect today. And yeah, without those
Yeah.
fumbles, he probably would have had chances for even more touchdowns, but he still got 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. I mean, 36 of 41. Like,
And that's what I love about
holy
Mahomes.
shit, 5 incompletions on 41 attempts. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
You can tell
Yeah.
he took last game
336.
personal. He
Yeah.
took he took offense to how he performed. He
Yeah.
knows how he performed, and today he was like, "I'm gonna be better."
I mean,
he was
I
fucking
would
bet.
say about the previous 3 or 4 weeks, he hadn't been great.
Yeah.
It had been
Huh.
a little. I mean, it's still Mahomes, but it had been below what we're used to seeing.
I mean,
But
today,
yeah,
I
no,
was-
today was. It won't go down that way because of fucking Carl Cheffers, but today was one of the greatest Mahomes performances I've seen.
And Travis Kelsey, another 100-yard game for him. Just another one to add to the record book.
Yep.
Went past Shannon Sharp's
yep, now he
career
sits
yardage.
fourth all
Juju
time.
looked good besides that fumble. Juju
Yeah.
looked good besides the
It was
fumble.
a precarious position, though. Like Sneaky kind of said earlier, the luck wasn't on our side on that one.
Right, he got like
Picked up.
fucking pile drive to the ground. Yeah, but and McKinnon had another game, or it just like man,
McKinnon's amazing.
over 100 yards from scrimmage.
2 touchdowns.
Double- 2
Andy called him
touchdowns.
a dinosaur today on the radio
Love it.
before the game.
Dude, we picked him up at the right time because yeah, he had those injuries earlier in his career that he just didn't play that much,
Yeah.
right? So for a running back, he should be ancient, but because he didn't play that much, you never, didn't get that.
Yeah, I mean, because
worn
when he was
down.
in Minnesota, he was always stuck behind Adrian Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever
And
he finally got his shot, it was like a shared committee with Toby Gerhart, I want to
yeah,
say. And
didn't
then
he
he
go to the
moved.
Niners too?
Then he went to the
Wasn't it
Niners and
for a
ruptured
little bit?
his ACL twice, ACL and Achilles maybe, in
Something,
back-to-back
yeah.
years. Hey.
It's the holidays, Sneaky. Which, by the way, Sneaky, I love the tree in the background. I haven't mentioned
Yeah.
it. I love what you got going on with the holiday thing. None of us put any effort into
I
it.
got my Christmas tree right here.
Oh wow! Oh, I'm sorry, P. I missed that. Okay, P. Me and Tim are the ones.
All my stuff's upstairs. So
Well,
My
All my
my
Christmas
tree's
stuff.
upstairs, but
The Christmas tree
Oh.
helps us look like less of a last known location, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Speaking of last known location, the Broncos and Cardinals played.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, let's go where Colt McCoy got hurt in that game, right? With the Cardinals. Cardinals losing to the Broncos 24-15. I believe Colt McCoy got hurt. It wasn't looking great beforehand. The Broncos defense is just a lot better than the Cardinals offense. I think what happened here.
Goddamn,
No.
I don't envy anybody that's a part of the Cardinals organization.
That's a bad place to be.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least they get plenty of time to work on their resume.
Yeah, because they don't.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's Hard Knocks isn't still going, is it?
I think it is. I need to go in
Man,
and check in on that
yeah, I
shit.
need to-
Yeah.
I need to go
I
look
watched
in on
2
that
episodes.
fucking
I watched
horror
2
show.
episodes and I kind of was like, whatever.
Yeah, I watched the first
like, the
episode.
first 2 or 3, and I was like, yeah.
I watched the first episode and I was like, oh, this is just kind of following Cliff Kingsbury.
A little too much.
Yeah. So
Yeah, why are we following around this guy in his last year in the league?
yeah, I mean,
At least as a head coach.
Okay, it's kind of funny to watch it. No, like everybody in the world knows that guy's getting fired.
Yeah.
So
And
I
the
mean,
Cardinals just extended him.
the
'cause
players
they-
in the building know that guy's getting fired.
yeah. Oh, that's another one of those coaches that's gonna be getting paid after he's not even there.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
there's not
they-
really much to talk about with that game other than the potential house cleaning.
Yeah, Latavius Murray had a really good game. Went off.
Yeah, he did.
He did. $130 on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then a
Um,
touchdown.
So
Brett
that's
Rippon's
nice.
terrible. Not
He was
terrible.
21 of 26
He's-
with a touchdown and
was-
an
he was-
interception.
He was Brett Rippon.
How many yards?
197. So I mean, he wasn't honestly.
21 balls for 197.
I mean, it's like we talked about with Brock Purdy earlier. Brock Purdy was 17 of
He's not-
26 for 217, so a little bit better. I mean, it was the touchdown to interceptions for me.
Yeah, but
Purdy beat him there, but I mean, it was,
Yeah, it's that yards per completion that gets me. It's like,
and I mean, look, at least we're learning the Broncos are plug and play as well. You lose Russell Wilson, you can plug in Brett Ripon, and he's just as fine as
Ripon,
Russ
Ripon.
Wilson, and he does the same things. He turns the ball over. But
might
the
get you
Broncos
on
have
it.
scored over 20 points 2 weeks in a row.
Hey,
They've
Hey.
scored 24 or more in 2 back-to-back
that's
games.
right.
That's got to be a
right.
first
I mean,
on the
we're
season.
still their best, just like with the Texans. We have given the Broncos and the Texans their best games of the year, offensively.
and what do those games have in common? Not having Russell Wilson for large chunks.
Raiders at Patriots,
Oh,
or Patriots at
yes.
Raiders.
Yes,
Patriots losing 24-30
and
on
the-
was
the
insane.
wildest
crazy-
ending.
the craziest fucking play I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I can't.
The fact that Belichick did Belichick tell them to do that?
That's what I'm saying. If that's a
don't imagine he
Belichick
did.
coached team that did that.
It looked okay.
Right, like, that
there
was-
were
It was
so throughout this game, it was very strange because at first it was all Raiders, right? And when I was watching it, it felt like the Patriots were making the mistakes the Raiders always make, and the Raiders were, capitalizing like the Patriots always do. And I felt like it was in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots started coming back, and the Raiders were making the mistake. I'm like, oh, everything's right again. And then the end of that game happened where you're just like, why did you throw that ball backwards so far?
yeah.
dude, I was watching that game and I was like, okay, like the Raiders are up, it was what, 17-0?
Something like that.
17-3 or 17 nothing.
17-3, and that was the score going into half. And I was like, oh, okay, well, they're just going to come out and just run Josh Jacobs down their throat. And here they come out throwing the ball.
Well, Josh
And,
McDaniels has to
What
outsmart
do you
Bill
know?
Belichick.
They start turning the ball over.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah,
have you
wild
coached
fucking
football
ending.
before? What do you?
Yeah, and you know, okay, so
You have an all-pro running back there.
we see this kind
This
of
exact
like,
scenario.
yeah, I don't, yeah, it makes no sense. They're a
Like,
bad
no,
team.
Derek
but
Carr
they-
and Devontae need their stats.
And you know that Josh McDaniels just want to do that to Bill, just throw all over him and
Yeah.
come on. I believe Josh McDaniels also beat Bill Belichick when he was a Broncos head
He
coach.
did because you remember the fist pump.
Yeah.
That's because they hit like a
Um,
sick 54-yard field goal to beat him.
Yeah. See, when Josh McDaniels gets fired in a couple of years, he's gonna have to pay for this when he tries.
Yeah,
to
he
come
might have to
crawling
coach
back.
for the he might have to coach for the Rams for a year before he's allowed back again.
Yeah, he's
Or
gonna
whatever
have to-
team
he's
is the
gonna have to pay
equivalent of
penance.
the Steve Spagnuolo coached Rams.
30 Hail Marys, hit himself with the flail.
Dude, so that
Postulate yourself.
the play at the end of that game, though, you know how we see that shit when teams doing it in desperate times. Although the Raiders, you weren't too desperate because it was tied game, or the Patriots, you weren't too desperate. It was a tie game. You could have just like,
Not done that.
but the last time we saw something kind of like that be successful was Miami doing it to the Patriots the
Yeah.
last game of the year, 2019, to help us get the #1 seed
Yep.
in the playoffs, or the 2 seed actually, to help us actually get the 2 seed. Get up.
Get-
At that time, it got us a bye week.
Yep.
Kelsey would have made the tackle.
putting
I'm
So
Jordan
sorry.
up there.
there were three things about that final play that were absolutely bonkers hilarious. Number one, the whole time Mac Jones is yelling at them to go down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think when I go back and think about it, I don't think Belichick told these guys to start lateraling.
Yeah.
Maybe he
And-
said to do it once or twice, but yeah, like you obviously don't tell him to do something like that.
But when Jacoby Myers throws that lateral that's intercepted, it's like he was throwing it to that dude.
Almost.
Like he could have been throwing to Mac Jones. right?
Oh no, he was throwing it to Mac Jones.
Yeah, he was expecting Mac Jones to run up on it like a
Mm.
receiver and just take that fucking hit from Chandler
That-
Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Let me
Which
get destroyed for this.
that was my favorite part of it, is that the former Patriot is the one who got that pick and touchdown.
Yeah,
Chandler Jones doing it.
yeah. But then the third thing is Mac Jones taking that brutal stiff arm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just like Willie Gay on
Nah,
Russell Wilson
fuck outta
last
here.
week. Just just
Yeah,
eat shit.
I love it.
Love it.
Oh, that play is beautiful. If I was a Raiders fan, that would be that would make everything
Poster.
happen this year worth it.
That'd be a poster on my wall.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones just Okay.
Sticking with the
Uh,
AFC West, probably.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, we can go Chargers, Titans.
All of the AFC West won this week.
Yeah.
The Titans cannot figure it out.
Yeah, they losing 17-14.
No. And the
You're playing against one of the worst run
Chargers keep
defenses in the
figuring
league.
it out.
Yeah. They ran the ball 21 times to Derrick Henry at least. They gave him over 20 touches, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it just felt like it was all like they would give him a touch on first down. I mean, he did get a lot of catches today.
he had 4. Yeah, he led the team, tied for
I
the
mean, for a
team
running
lead.
back, yeah.
Yeah,
4
tied for the team lead.
well,
Yeah.
who else are you going to give it to? Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
you look at it. I mean, Chris Conley.
They were throwing a lot of balls to Hooper and
Robert Woods,
Conley.
Chris Conley.
Yeah, or Chris Conley and Robert Woods are your top 2 wide receivers.
Come on. That
Yeah,
bad. That's real scary.
This receiving core was going to
I
come
want
back
that.
to bite them in the ass at some point.
Yeah. All
like-
year. All year it has been.
Yeah, after you traded away AJ
Yeah.
Brown, you knew this receiving core was going to be problematic.
They're like, all we have to do is run the ball. That is
Yeah.
all we need to do.
Yeah, they took away any threat they had in the air, so they
Yeah, dude.
they reap what they sow, and they
Dude, Yeah, somebody tell him this isn't fucking like 1972. Like you need to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, and on the other side, we're a
What
team
did they get for AJ Brown? A 2 and a 4,
Not
a first and a
enough.
third.
a 1 and a from this last draft.
I think so. Yeah,
And did they use that on Traylon Burks?
Traylon Burks, whose pro comparison was AJ Brown. So you traded away AJ Brown for a guy that in maybe 3 years will be almost as good as AJ
Yeah,
Brown.
it's one of those. He could be anything. He could even be an AJ Brown, and
Yeah.
like, who knows what he could be, guys?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're
then
giving up a guy who you know what he is.
Yeah. And in contrast, you had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, good wide receivers, schooling them.
Yeah, oh yeah. Putting up, having some days, or at least during those last like couple the last scoring drive,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen was huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
So, and hey, man, get on the Chargers. Keep finding ways to win. They're getting healthier too. So
Yeah, they're.
I don't want to see the Chargers in the playoffs. Fuck that. Fuck
Oh yeah,
everything about that.
BT Dubs guys, we won the division.
Yes.
Yeah,
Division
we
is a
won the
wrap in the
division.
AFC
7
West.
years
we
in a
did
row.
good 7 years in a row. We didn't even mention it. 7 years in a row, we
Yep.
won the division. Great on us. We love it.
4 years away from the record.
Happy day. What do we have next?
Now we're on the-
The Bengals.
Bucks.
Bengals Bucks. Oh, the Bucks just
Bengals coming back.
just letting us down. Of course, can't do any
34 to
fucking thing.
23.
You have 17-0. 17-0. And you just fall apart. Their offense. I've never seen an offense just completely self-destruct the way the Bucks self-destructed. Turnover after turnover after turnover.
It was like 4 straight turnovers.
It
Wasn't
was 4 or 5.
Yeah,
They just could not stop.
yeah. Ugly interception from Brady.
Yeah. Ugly. I mean, and then just
Bad
fumble
fumbles.
after fumble. Yeah, man, it was.
You think Giselle watches him now and she's just like goes crazy whenever he does shit like that?
I get
Yeah.
half of that.
Joe Burrow with
Man,
4 touchdowns.
anyways,
today.
they just absolutely shat the bed completely and utterly. The Bengals didn't have to do a ton to come back offensively. I mean, they still did, but man, they had short fields like every time. They were starting off like at the 20-yard line, like at the Bucks 20-yard line every time. So
Joe Burrow wishes he was Mahomes so bad. Joe Burrow,
decent game today.
Joe Burrow's really good, but nobody talks about him, and he's not cool. He's just not.
I mean, people
He
do
is,
talk
but he
about
is 3-0 against the dude who say he wants to be,
him. Yeah.
Now,
would you-
well,
Why would you want to
including
be Mahomes?
including playoffs. So as
Oh,
of
yeah.
right now,
you get that
Mahomes.
shovel pass touchdown, and we'll
That
reevaluate.
that fucking shovel touchdown that they can't do. They can't do it. No other team can.
How
Stop
do you almost
trying.
throw an interception on that?
Don't stop. Yeah. You're not the Chiefs. You're not Andy Reid. You don't know how to draw it up. Don't know how to do it. But man, yeah, that's wild game.
They had to get handed a game to win it against the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks kept handing it to them.
We
so.
don't want.
But this is the thing. Like we have to give the Bengals their credit because the Bengals do have a more complete team. They have a scary team. They have a team whose defense does create turnovers and is
Yeah.
opportunistic and can win them games like that.
Yep.
better coached defense than ours.
Yeah,
I think we have
they're-
more talent. I just don't think we coach it well.
You're probably right.
That's
I,
Yeah.
I mean, and we know like that these
I'm,
teams
I'm developing a hatred
just-
for that team.
are
Yeah,
more complete.
I called it. I told you that. I hate the fucking Bengals, but they're a good team and they're better than us. So
They're better than us. Right now.
until the Chiefs beat them, I will say the Bengals are better than the Chiefs.
The Bengals,
I don't want it to be
the
true, but it
Bills
is.
right now, the
Yeah.
Eagles, the Niners. Again, all those teams are better than us.
I won't say the Bills because we know we can beat them in the playoffs.
I'd say right now, where it stands, they are a more complete team than we are.
I don't know. I haven't been this week. I was more impressed with them than I was the past couple, but I hadn't been impressed with the Bills for a few weeks. Even their win on Thanksgiving, even though it's a good Lions team, They did put together a good drive at the end to win it, but other than that, I was like, I'm not.
Okay. I mean, they don't, but that's the thing. Like, they don't have to always be
Yeah,
great
no, and I
on
get it.
offense to win games. Like, they don't have to look that impressive there because their defense can back them up
Yeah.
and do some things to win. We got one more game, right?
The biggest disappointment of them all. The most depressing game there was, and it's because we all secretly wanted this to be a tie, even though we were very
did.
vocal about how badly we wanted it to be a tie. So it wasn't
I
a secret
really-
at all.
I really wanted the Giants Commanders to tie twice.
Yeah.
They almost did it if Heineke wouldn't have fumbled at the end of that.
God, if they wouldn't have got called for that fucking penalty, man, on that the one.
The one, yeah. Oh, yeah, that too.
That was as soon as that penalty got called, I was like, they're not going to score a touchdown.
They're not gonna
from
get this
6 yards
now.
out. Oh, that seems.
But it was
Might as well
third
ask them.
down and you had 2 shots at it, basically.
Yeah, you might as well ask them to go 90 yards with a minute left. I would have had just as little faith in them in doing that as I did with them scoring from 6 yards out.
Yeah.
It seems like
no.
so many teams that have already gotten a tie this year have flirted with getting that second tie.
Damn.
The
There was a
Colts-
couple like the Chiefs and Texans. I was like, this could fucking
Yeah.
happen.
The Giants finally putting together a win against a decent team for the first time since like October,
Yeah.
I think, right? Sometime in October, maybe.
Been a
'cause
while.
they started out, this team started out 6-1 and then, went like 1-6, and that one being against the Texans. And finally
Finally bouncing back.
putting together. Okay, I guess they weren't 1-6 then, but they went like 1-5-1. There you go.
Yeah. And
But needed that win against the commies to stay firmly in that playoff hunt.
I am shocked that these two quarterbacks combined for 61 passing attempts. Daniel Jones and Taylor Heineke.
Probably throwing it a little too much.
With the running backs they have, yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Probably
because
throwing it a little.
with New York, you've really only got Saquon, but Washington, you got Gibson and Robinson, who are both looking like good back. Gibson, we've seen in the past, is a good back.
Well, and Robinson's had a great year since he's
Since
back.
he's returned, which is one of the more awesome stories. But
Yeah.
It really is. All right, and then tomorrow's game. The
Rams, Tigers.
Packers and Rams. So
Yuck.
that doesn't matter. All right.
yeah,
All right.
we get to see if
I just
Baker
threw
can
open my
beat
mouth a
Aaron.
little when you said that.
That's a month, but think about it. At least it wasn't a Saturday game, right?
Yeah, at least we're not like being forced to watch.
Yeah.
Like I'm not hungry for football. I just had a bunch,
All
Yeah,
right, boys,
exactly.
let's get into our picks.
Who do that strip sack Thibodeau had on the Giants? Never
Yeah.
mind. Anyways, that was cool. Sorry, we didn't even mention that in that game. That was like strip sack. But yes, picks. Let's do picks. All right.
Picks. Sam added 4 points this week. He's at 51. Sneaky added 5. He's at 62. I only added 3. I'm at 54, and P added 5 as well as Sneaky, and he's at 63. So still one game lead there. Sam almost came in a 1 game lead with me, but he is now 3 behind.
I'll get it.
Did we pick tomorrow's game?
No, we avoided that like the plague.
So okay.
Yeah.
What do we got this week?
So
What are-
let's do our
what are-
picks.
Yeah.
We got first game, Jags at Jets.
Jags. Give me Jags.
Yep.
But now I'm gonna. How the Jags gonna let me down? No, but give me Jags.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jags.
Yeah.
Second game, Giants at Vikings. I'll take
feel like-
Vikings.
It's just
Vikings.
stupid to pick against the Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
I think so.
Third game, we got Bengals at Pats. I'll take Bengals.
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 Yeah, Bengals. The Pats just their offense is so fucking
Yeah.
That'll be the one they win though. All
I
right,
was-
next game. I think we're all 4 gonna take Lions at Panthers.
Yeah,
I'll take
Lions.
Lions.
Are these what? There's no better matchups next week. These matchups are
We
garbage.
saved a lot of the really good ones for week 18. Could have
Alright,
took the Titans and Texans. Maybe we should have taken
Still
the
on the
Titans.
Titans. Anyways,
Here's a good one though.
Eagles at Cowboys.
well, Eagles. It's Eagles. Duh.
I'm taking the
See.
Eagles.
I'll take Cowboys. I did this the last time we had this matchup too, and it worked out in my favor. So because the Eagles won.
How did it work out?
I think the Eagles are going to win, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys.
Do we have any more picks? Is
Yeah,
that
we got two more.
Okay.
Packers at Dolphins.
Packers at Dolphins? Are these for real? These are for real the picks.
I mean, I'm picking a Dolphins team that's lost 3 straight.
Yeah, I'll pick
them.
I dare you to pick the
Yeah.
Packers. I dare you.
I'll take the Dolphins team that lost
You
3
double
straight
dare me?
against the Packers team.
Take those Packers. You do it.
Done. I'm taking the Packers because I think the Dolphins have been playing poorly lately.
Yeah, and the Packers have been playing great, guys.
I'll join
I don't know if
you.
know this. but the
I'll
Packers
join you,
have been
Pete.
playing really
The
well.
Packers, like Sneaky said, I'm a believer in last week. I dare Sneaky to take them with me. Do you really want to split this many games?
Okay. All right.
Last
Next
game.
game.
Broncos at Rams.
Don't stop putting me in positions where I have to pick the Broncos to win.
Jesus.
But Russ might be back.
I don't
I
know.
guess I'll take the Broncos. I don't
Broncos.
know. I'll take the Broncos. I'll do it. Fine.
Sneaky, who you taking?
The Broncos. I
You
wouldn't pick
really?
them. No.
I'm taking
They
the
seem
Rams.
better than the
I am
Rams right
too.
now.
I'm taking the Rams.
You guys are gonna take the Rams?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quarterback who's been on the team for
Hey,
3
I'll be
weeks.
happy to be wrong, but
Oh,
I'm
it's
gonna take
Ba- it's
Baker over
Baker.
Russ.
It is Baker. That's right. I forgot about Baker over
No take
Russ.
specs.
Ooh, can I jump back over the
No,
Rams?
no take specs.
Yeah, I'll
No,
let
I
him.
want to take. I want to jump. I forgot.
I'll
We
go
haven't played
along.
this week. I forgot.
I'll say I
about
don't think
the
Sneaky
Baker.
ever gets the alone pick.
Let Sneaky be alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did it, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up and watching. If you did, probably
should-
didn't. Especially if you made it this far.
Yeah, you should
That'd be
definitely
incredible.
like, comment,
And
and
subscribe. And then have a great week. Have a Merry Christmas, you guys.
Yeah, have a
Happy
Merry
Kwan-
Christmas with
happy-
that Sam bell.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holidays that you celebrate around this time. Great.